and good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you listen this podcast from. My name is Caroline Linda, and welcome to my podcast, my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please do subscribe, do share, do comment on the video below. It helps me to understand the content that you want me to put out there, and it helps me to grow my base, my fan base, my people, and thank you, because for them that have subscribed, I say thank you. For them that are joining us, welcome again. So today's podcast, I would like us to rethink about how we basically get from survival mode to being more, or to thriving, or rather how you survive, from how you survive to how you get to thrive in today's context. And today's context is very personal to me, because I'm talking about home responsibility. I'm talking about home training. So how do we just move from our surviving to full owning our responsibilities for your future? I'm gonna give you a case scenario. This is my own case scenario, please. I love to share my life. I love to share my context. So as I was growing up, and this is related to home duties, my mom was pretty much a busy woman. She had her businesses. I don't blame her. She did great for herself, for the family. And at that age, I never get to saw my mom. I never got to saw. Hey, is it to saw? To see. I never got to see my mom doing a lot of homely duties. I'm talking about sweeping the compound. I'm talking about washing the dishes, cleaning toilets and everything. So I never got to see that. But our home, trust me, was a very, very clean home. And the duties of that cleaning, or duties of home, were outsourced to our nanny. They had good nannies when I was growing up. Shout out to all my beautiful nannies that took up the responsibility and just took care of me when I was young. But the result, or the consequences of not of that is, you grow up and you realize that now you have your own home, and that home has to be cleaned. That home has the dishes are there. If you don't clean the dishes, they will not clean themselves, trust me, girl. So and before even I get there, let me take you back to my school life. I went to a boarding school when I was very, very young. I was like 8 years when I went to a boarding school. Pretty much, no, let's say 10 years. Pretty much young. I had barely known even how to wash myself, like how to bath myself, let alone knowing how to wash my clothes. But I went there, and when I went to that school, I was pretty confused. How do we do things over here? And so at that young age, my mind, I think, switched from how to handle that to how do I survive through this through this life. And let me tell you, that mindset of survival from that young age, it just took over my life. So I survived and adapted to the situations that were handed over to me. So for example, I was cleaning up, because if I don't clean, of course I'll be walked, and I don't want to be walked. And I'll go to the dining hall to eat, because if I don't go to eat, pretty much sure that I'll get angry by the following day. And so survival kept me just floating the school. But as I grew older, I realized that, my goodness, I was always caught up. I was always caught up in not doing duties. I would, for example, if it is cleaning, I'll spend more time in cleaning, and then by the time I'm cleaning, the bell has already rung, and then I'm being forced now to leave the broom there, go to take care of another duty, and pretty much in my life, from that stage, I'm not even kidding you, from that stage to even my my whole primary school, I survived the institutions that were there. I'm telling you, the conditions, the environment were harsh. So nobody told me about responsibility. Teachers tell you, you need to be responsible, but they never explain what is responsibility at that time. And I did not understand. So for me, and in my mindset at that time, I was like, okay, responsibility is cleaning, responsibility is just doing my duties, but nobody taught me how to be responsible. And I'm gonna say this here. So responsibility is planning ahead. It is intentionality, planning ahead of time. Nobody actually taught me that. Life taught me that. Life. And how did it teach me that? Because in a community, in an environment that nobody tells you or teaches you how to do it, you are going to fail. And I said, I was surviving, I was being caught up, I was failing. I did not understand when people would call me out. I'm trying my best, but my best is not good enough. I'm trying to drive. I'm trying to survive this, but you call that survival irresponsibility. I do not quite understand where now the word irresponsibility would come from. And irresponsibility basically is the lack of planning. If you don't plan, you're gonna be irresponsible. First, with your time, with your resources, with yourself, because like, who takes care of you? No one. It's you. So you need to plan even for yourself. You need to plan. For example, if you're in a boarding school, you need to plan when you wake up. You need to plan what you're gonna do. You need to plan the lesson that you're gonna read. Lack of planning will have you. Have you seen those children? Because they don't plan, they go morning prep, they are not staying in school, they are either just juggling, they are going from class to class, borrowing books, because you never planned ahead. You don't know, when I wake up, I'm gonna read this and this. So from that early age, you need to grow and understand that it is planning that makes a person, it is responsibility that makes a person. And then from responsibility, now you take accountability. Accountability is now whatever you planned is you account for that. Like you said, okay, today I'm gonna learn 2 lessons. Have you done that? Are you accountable for that? If I tell you, okay, what have you done today? I've done 2 quizzes, I've done A, B, C, and D. That is called accountability. And what accountability makes you, it makes you achieve goals. It makes you look at what you have done versus what you have not done. It makes you have wins for the day and failures for the day. And so by that you can know, okay, I read Kiswahili yesterday, today I'm gonna read another lesson. Because you'll find out that a lot of people, because they never plan, they are reading one subject because they like that subject. They never seem to like another subject, so they neglect it. So how do you take, so we've talked about survival, we have talking about responsibility and then accountability, and then from there, and this is where I'm gonna end, is now how you thrive. Thriving means you actually taking care of, you're being responsible and accountable for your own actions. So when you get to be responsible and then you get to be accountable for your own action, then you enter the stage of thriving. Thriving is where, have you done this? Yes. Did you take care of this? Yes. Are you responsible enough for this? Yes. So you find yourself, you entering a place of happiness, a place of thinking, okay, I've done the ABCD, so what should I do, and what should I do better? And you come from a place of I am learning to I'm growing. So you learn and then you start growing, because now you can see your results. Thriving is about the results. It's about seeing what you planned, what you've accounted for, what you've been responsible, growing to a place of, in spiritual terms we call it fruitfulness, or in In them mods we call it results. So it's actually the driving is actually seeing the results of what you planned for and action for, in your life. So for example, you said I want to get a 70%. You took more time and planned first for how you're gonna achieve that, and then you got responsible enough to say, okay, if it is a timetable, I'm gonna put out a timetable. And then you put out a timetable, and then you put in the work, and then now you come out and you practicing like 20 sums of mathematics every day, and then you now are thriving because now you have the results that you want. That's what you call thriving. So actually you can come out from survival to thriving. When it comes to home duties, where do I want to say? I want to say you can actually grow, you can actually learn, you can be responsible, you can take actions, and you can thrive. So I have always been compared to other women. Oh, you cannot do this. Oh, your house is like this. No. When I learned that comparison first the thief of joy, and secondly, I can take care of my own actions, and I can be responsible, and I need what I can parent myself, because now as a big girl it's a necessity. Now I'm happy because my small wins, when I look around my home, I'm happy because, man, it's a clean home. I'm looking about, what I need to do better, how I need to, improve my compound, improve my house, what needs to be done. So that is me thriving, and you can too, because God has given you. It's not easy, but just stop procrastination. Get your small wins every day. Account for your life, account for your time. Be responsible for your actions, and girl, you're gonna get from survival to thrival mode. Thank you, and let's see you again in our next podcast. Please share, comment below on what you need me to talk about in our next comment or in our next section. Thank you.